big cement pipe. You ever see those big cement pipes that are, okay, Iran used those as bomb shelters. So if the bomb thing went off, they'd have some down this way, turn that way, some over here, turn that way, right? And you could run and get into the bomb. If you just run and you get in there. And that's the bomb shelter. They had to, and so, but Iraq was sending missiles there. Nobody helped Iran. So Iran then developed itself. And they ain't worried. They can defend themselves now against anybody. And the Israelis right now can kill Iranian scientists. They can do anything no more. They're getting bolder and bolder all the time. But look what's happening to them. Look what's happening to the people of Yemen. Look what's happening to the people of Iran. Look at all the allies. They can kidnap, kill, or murder. The Saudis can murder big ulama. In Bahrain, they can murder and put on trial anybody they want, right? So the allies of the West can do anything they want to the generally good people that aren't doing anything wrong. And you can get Khashoggi, you could just cut him up in little pieces, and the guys get on the plane with bone saws, and and cut a man up, and it's okay. So what? They can do all of that. Now, in the United States, our enemies can do, not enemies, they're dummies. They can do anything that they want to do. Double jeopardy is when you get charged with something, you get out on it, you beat the case, they charge you again. One of the cases I got that they arrest me for in our Masjid in California is not only unbelievable, but it's double jeopardy. I beat that case in court, and I think that they're doing crazy, and when they go crazy, they try to help you. Or it's a lot of little stuff going on. Is the people that are under the most pressure have held up. Look what happened in Syria. Look what's happening. The people that used to be the biggest enemy of Iran, Iraq is now its best friend in the region. With all of this trouble they're trying to make for it. I'm saying that these things that are happening are not coincidental. They are of a design plan. And the apparent state, that's Congress, that's the Senate, that's all the other associated government agencies, the CIA, the FBI, all of those, they all work in harmony in the open, right, against our people. And they give weapons to whoever they want. They want to give them to Saudi Arabia. They can do whatever they want. That's out in the open. That's not any secret state. We call that the apparent state, right? So all of the FBI, CIA, and all of that is on the second line. And we refer to that as the apparent state. The apparent state can do stuff to their allies. Angela Merkel, and the French president, they just get listen to their telephone or what have you. And they say, we're your allies. Well, who is that anyway? That's a Zionist using their stuff. We'll get to the Zionists in a minute. And I'm not bragging, but we're the only Negroes The only Americans, the only people in the world that can slap the Zionists upside the head. I know that sounds like we're bragging, but every now and then you got to tell people what's going on. We're sitting here, and the people said, well, they do this, that ain't nothing compared to what happens to everybody else. It's a holiday. It's a holiday. How could we complain about, well, they did this, we still got a roof over our head. They just blow your roofs away. They do anything they want. These people are deadly. That's why we just cruise along. Had a nice run today. Little run, little walk, had a little exercise, have a little food, or do a little fasting. Look, I already know we got it good. Don't nobody have to tell me. People say, man, that's cold-blooded, man, the way they do it. Shoot, you ain't never heard me holler about it or cry, oh, they do this, right? Only thing you will see is a laugh or a smile. Why? Because over the period of years, we have set them up over and over and over again. And now the Zionist, who was part of the hidden state, is now part of the apparent state. And then they got so loose that all of their stuff is falling apart. It's not only the U.S. falling apart. The last big attack on Palestinians, man, the Palestinians, what they do to Palestinians is worse than what Boss Man did to Negro, right? And now, no. What's happening in the United States? The cars driving by with the little lights flashing. That's an Israeli tactic. All of that. So if we go back, we're going to take this grabbing power over police departments in the United States at least 10 years. And that's when we recognize it. We recognize it because we're always feeling and pushing and testing, right? And we have always been, when you go through the years, I was watching something from a 1939 movie. When I saw it in South America years ago, it's called Ship of Fools. But now they call it something else. The ship that all the Jews was on going from port to port. They wouldn't let them in Cuba. This is a real issue. They wouldn't let them in the United States. Okay. And when they had to go back to Nazi Germany. And some of them went to Auschwitz and Treblinka and all of them places, and a few of them made it home. That's when Israel was just, the Israelis was just picking up. See, like if you look at a little over 100 years ago, they just getting power. They bought the New York Times. Eventually they got all the Washington, the Graham family. They got the Washington Post. Huh? Mm-hmm. Yeah. But see, if you look and pay attention to how much authority they had, if you looked at 1956, when Israel was messing with Egypt and they had the 1956 struggle at the Suez Canal, Eisenhower put a check on the Zionists. But by 1973, when Egypt moved on the Zionists and had them backing up, plane loads of stuff left here. They call it the Yom Kippur War or the Ramadan War. The Egyptians call it the Ramadan, or they call it Yom Kippur. Okay, it's 73, something like that. So you'll see the ascendancy of Zionist power in the U.S. 39, They had power. They gaining power. They getting there. 56, Eisenhower probably Christian, the Jews, Christ killers and all of that. I mean, I'm saying that's what they did in those days. But he definitely didn't respect the state of Israel. So 56, he put a check on them. But by 73, they had big power. And if that was almost 50 years ago, look at the growth of power since then. That if you have the apparent state, if you have the secondary state, the Congress, right, or the administrative state, Congress and all of that, and all the other organizations that are empowered by Congress, right? They talk about those too, but nobody talk about the real power, the Zionist state. The Zionists have more control in America than anybody in America.
Where do you include the lobbies?
The lobbies are part of the administrative state, the apparent state. All those people are, yeah, they're part of definitely AIPAC, but that's part of on the surface, everybody can see it as an apparent state. And it works like what it's supposed to according to their system. AIPAC scares everybody to death. AIPACs give money to this congressman or that congressman. And they may not know it, but they're doing themselves a lot of harm. Because as people find out, people are finding out the real thing and they're not following that phony stuff like the Don them is putting out and all that, trying to get people barking up that tree, and that's not what a real enemy is. Yeah, people are smelling out that don't smell too good. See, they're using their real human senses and they say, it don't smell right. They're not going by, oh, that's a birthday cake and it's a sweet smelling lemon cake. Don't it smell nice? And no, I don't smell right. Smells rotten to me. That's the things that are happening right now. Okay, let me get back to look. I would say that we're having a bigger effect on this whole thing than the whole United States. It sounds arrogant, but that's what we've been doing. Nobody else can do that. Who can challenge the Zionists in the open? And make fun of them. Because remember now, on all the programs, that was our secret that we learned. Don't care nothing for them. Just make fun of them, talk about them like dogs. Make fun of them. And the Zionists are so arrogant, they're like them dumb police. They can't stand that. And everybody laughing at them too. They can't take that. That's why when we went on Hannity's show, the next day I went down in Houston and I got a call. People from Sean Hannity said, would you do a radio program? So I thought to myself, I said, oh, I done whooped him already. So I was thinking I ought to just keep him on like white man on the line. We got him on the line and we can feel him wiggling and jumping up and down. Well, actually, they're jumping up and down all out of the water and everything. They got to get back. You could ask the people in Houston, Hashem and all of them. So what they did was, I was in this Islamic center, the Shia center there in Houston, the big center there. And it had a library, and it's in the glass, it's a glass room, so everybody can look in. So I did the interview in there, but it was a radio interview, it wasn't a TV interview. So, and there was a few radio operators and that working with them, even right there with me. So anyway, so Sean Hannity would ask me questions and I would hit him back, bite him right. But guess what? He would ask me questions and when I answered, the mute button would be on.